Good morning. Whoop. Well, that didn't work.
I think we're live.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And this is a weekly success circle for solopreneurs. We get together because we enjoy each other's company and we like exchanging ideas and information. And for me, it's all about giving and receiving support. My name is Lowell Ann, and I've been in business since 1996, helping people where they want to go. So I think it's a good idea for us to just review our operating principles, relationships before business. You can get anything in business and life if you help enough other people get what they want. We stand for positive possibilities and keep an open mind, and we never sell anything we are not prepared to deliver impeccably. So that's what we stand for. So now I think it's time for introductions. So now I've lost my presentation. I've lost my... This is so cool. There we are. I found it. So let's see. Who got here first this morning? I think it was a tie between Heather and Vivek, I think. Oh, and I see we have Juan who is there. He's new. So I shall... oh. It looks like he didn't come in using Chrome or Google, so I guess he will have to be on the outside. So good morning, Juan. Welcome here. So Heather, how would you like to introduce yourself? And I'm so happy you came.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I introduced myself, huh? Okay. Well, I am an artist, and I use Google Hangouts to present what I do on a weekly basis live to people who want to watch. That's what I do.
Yeah, I've watched a number of your shows, and they're kind of fun. They're really fun. And okay, so the next person that was here was Vivek. Away you go.
Namaste. My name is Vivek, and VivekTechnology.com is my website. Hopefully, as you can see from my overlay, I believe in simplicity. I share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. So I believe in simplicity. I am a software developer, but I believe in simplicity. So if you have projects you are struggling to integrate and simplify, you can reach out to me using my Google Plus and contact me.
Welcome here, Vivek. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
And let's see, I think Jay, you were the next one who was here. Oh, there's Ann. Good morning, Ann.
Whoosh, here comes Ann. Hi, my name is Jay, and my company is Magi Studios, and we help people get started in the world of online business.
Oh, we've got a funny sound.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So, and then the next person who came was Nathan. So how would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what you're up to and where you are?
Well, where I am is where I've been for about the last year, which is Ensenada in Mexico. And the main thing that's been going on as of late is an idea I came up with that's based on something I learned a long time ago. But I've created something called the Done For You book publishing system. And it's based on the process of interviewing. So basically I get together with authors and they come up with whatever it is they want to do. They write out their basic chapters, and then I create targeted questions. We work back and forth. I interview them on it. I get the interviews transcribed, edited, and very quickly we have a finished book. And so it's a extremely effective, very fast way of getting things done. So it's like I said, it's based on what I learned a long time ago. I have a lot of skill in interviewing, so that's what I'm doing right now.
And so, for people who are not don't feel as though they're great writers and they get writer's block or whatever, by your interviewing them, it sounds like it sort of unlocks all of that stuff that they've got locked up inside and can get it out.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it does, because one of the major problems with would-be writers is they take one look at what's involved and they instantly become overwhelmed and quit. And it's because writing is a lot of work. But with this process, I could interview somebody for their book in, say, 7 to 10 hours. And each hour, as I've discovered, produces like 10,000 words of content, so it's quite a bit. And it doesn't take very long if you structure the questions properly and manage the time, that you can have a book done very, very quickly.
Wow, interesting. Wow.
Yep.
Cool. So,
Thanks.
Anne, how about you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, okay, I think everything's all right now. My volume was turned up full when I came on, which is why you had some weird things going on there. Actually, I'm heading out for a walk, and I saw Heather afterwards on. I thought, I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to go to this. I slept in today. I'm wreck. But my business is Visionary Business Solutions. I do bookkeeping and office management for small businesses, and I love it. But I also do upcycled clothing, so I'm kind of interested in what Heather has to say.
Aha. I knew you would be interested in seeing how how Heather works, because I think there's an application there for what you're doing.
Oh, I know there is. I've just been lazy about it.
So, well, we'll see. There are a few other people who said they were coming, and we'll see whether they arrive. And if they do, well, then that's fine. So this morning I thought we would have a chat about using technology for teaching. So I need to kind of share, I shared a little bit of this with Heather and Vivek in the green room, but perhaps I should say a little something about this, what happened this morning. So my thought was that I would like to play with the slideshow aspect that is provided in this business hangouts. So I went on and I discovered that I needed to upgrade my subscription to the next level before I could really do anything. But it's been on my mind to give it a try, and as we discussed, you can sort of upgrade your subscription for month by month. So I thought, well, it's time for me to go to that next level, because one of the reasons I came to Business Hangouts in the first place was that I want to put together some training, online training, and I thought this was probably the best, or the best I'd seen to put that together. So I'm at that point where I needed to go further. So I did that. I messed around and discovered that right now, if you're using Chrome, you can't do a slideshow. You can't have a lower third. There's a number of things that can't happen because of an upgrade of some sort that Google did to Chrome. So right now I'm using Firefox, which is somewhat unfamiliar for me because I rarely use it, but here I am. And I noticed that, well, I think that while we were in the green room, it was noticed that my video is quite choppy this morning. And I don't know whether that's because I've got so much open on my computer, or whether it's just a hangout thing for this morning. Who knows? If you find it a little choppy, I do apologize.
It could be both, so Ellen.
It could be worse, you say?
No, both.
Oh,
Lots
both.
of things happening on your computer as well as yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did close down a lot of most everything. I don't have a whole lot open other than Google Slides.
Mm.
So I wondered if it weren't. I have 2 or 3 questions that I thought would get our conversation going. One of them, I guess, is if you're thinking about doing training online, what is the first step? And that's where I always go. What's the first step? Well, for me, from my old adult education days, it's important when you're putting training together is to figure out what's your objective. What's the end result that you're looking for, and then to work your way back. So and the end result, of course, is in relation to the student or the learner. So that would be where I would begin. I had some fun this morning. As I mentioned, I was up very early, so I dug out a whole bunch of old stuff that I used in my old consulting days. I think I taught a Train the Trainer course at one time. I found a PowerPoint with that. I went, oh, wow, haven't used that for a long time. So, but that's kind of, I won't bore you with that, but that, as I went back and reviewed that, it just brought to the surface how important it is to focus on the learner and to decide on what your outcome needs to be, and then to work your way back. And that's the design of the training. And I suppose that as you work your way back and you've got the training itself designed, then the next step would be to decide what technology you plan on using in order to deliver that. Does anybody have any thoughts about all of that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it kind of follows along the thought process that I have as well. Is basically, what's the objective? What is the end result of the training? And then from there, once you create the course content, how do you want to deliver? And I think it's important to kind of do either a needs analysis of what kind of technology you want to use, or basically reverse engineer the process, from paywall to entrance points, of how you attain your customer, right? Because there's a customer life cycle, obviously. So from entrance point to them learning, whatever it is that you're teaching. So and there's, I could see it can be very, very overwhelming when it comes to finding a solution that best matches your needs, because there's so many things out there. There's so many training, software. There's plugins, and it can become so overwhelming to the point where it just kind of stops you in your tracks, in terms of what it is that's available, right? Because there's as I said, so many different types of software and platforms with so many different price points. And that's why I think it's really important to do a needs analysis. Like, what do you need? Do you need chat? Do you need to handle internal payments? Do you need live feeds? Do you want a forum? What is the platform or the process of delivering your content and delivering your training? So,
Yeah, so when we think about technology, it just adds another layer onto the whole sort of training aspect, I guess is what we're trying to say. So Heather, I know that we're all interested. I know that you use Business Hangouts exclusively or extensively?
Pretty exclusively. The only time that I'm not in a business hangout and using just a regular hangout is usually when I'm doing someone else's environment, whenever I'm within somebody else's choice. But for everything that I personally do for my business, even my personal things are within Business Hangouts. So, and I actually utilize Business Hangouts for a live interactive class that I teach, which is called, right now I'm just doing basic drawing lessons, but we ultimately will have watercolor classes and all kinds of things, but it's a paid for environment. So using Business Hangouts, there is a paywall and it goes directly to my PayPal account, and I'm notified instantly that someone is registered for that. And then if they leave a comment while they're there, I can even come and join them as the teacher while they're watching the recorded version, or if they come to the live event, I'm there obviously to answer questions. So it's really cool because for the first time ever, I've been able to do something like this. For 2 years, I've been looking for a way to do it. Business Hangouts came out with the paywall, and it just opened up my doors. So I've really enjoyed being able to visit with folks who weren't able to make it to the live thing, but did still want that teacher interaction. So I jumped into the comments and answered questions while they were there, and then those questions and comments are there for the next person who comes to watch the recording as well. So it's a lot of fun.
So and you run this from your website, do you not?
I do host it on my website, yes, so that way my website does get the traffic, and that is where you can go. One link for all the classes, one link to be able to share on Twitter and so forth. I made my life as easy as possible because I'm the solopreneur. I do all the marketing, I do everything, so I need to be able to have one link to share and not have to worry about thousands of links or however many classes there might be. So, plus, it makes it easier for the student, I think, which is what I was really aiming for. When you talk about, the person, what's the end goal? My end goal was to have the person taking the classes not have to go hunt their emails, search for things, and that kind of stuff. So I really wanted to make sure everything was in one location, everything was one link to get to it all, and so far it's been pretty good.
Yeah. And the other thing I noticed about the difference in subscription, the one I had didn't allow me to put any of my own branding, whereas the Next Level Up, which is what I'm using right now in order to do a couple more things, I will be able to set up my own branding, which will make me a lot happier. Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes back to what Jay was saying about assessing your needs. So not everybody needs branding, but that is definitely something that's available if you do need it. It's just a little bit more. It's not you don't have to go to the highest tier to get that. So
No, absolutely. Well, but then there's work to be done in that aspect as well. Where's my graphic designer? So, Heather, when you say a little bit more, I know you said this morning you've had some technical problems this week, but say a little bit more about because I know Anne is very interested in hearing how you do the the demonstration part. I've heard you describe it before, but I'm sure others would find it very interesting.
sure. I actually utilize 2 cameras, and over the past couple of years, I've used 2 cameras pretty much since the beginning. The only issue that I've always had is using the same camera. What I'm using right now is the Logitech C920, and it's a great, crisp, clear view. It's a fantastic webcam, and it's very affordable. I want that one for this view that you see here for my face, as well as for the overhead shot when I'm actually working on the artwork. And having 2 C920s on one computer for one Hangout, just one person in the Hangout is very difficult to do. As a matter of fact, Hangouts doesn't recognize those 2 cameras in the same Hangout. So that makes it kind of difficult. I've had to do some juggling, and I've tried to do some things that some people have suggested, as in adding another USB bar to my bus bar, whatever the heck. I'm not a techie girl. Just remember this. But I had to add one of those to my computer and then plug one camera into that and one camera into the others, and that still didn't fix the issue. So I actually utilize a software program called ManyCam.
Mhm.
But that does add some lag to the whole thing. So I utilized ManyCam with my drawing classes because my drawing classes require me to have multiple views at the same time. I'm able to quickly bring up a screenshot and not deal with the overlay issue that we're experiencing with Chrome at the moment. There's a lot of things that I'm able to bypass using ManyCam, but it does add that lag feature. So sometimes it's a little herky-jerky and sometimes it's not, but you know, that's just a give and take. It comes down to what's more important for your audience or what it is you're trying to deliver. So that's my solution. I do my mechanical setup is I'm in the basement, so I'm a little bit I've got a little bit above the curve on things because I'm in the basement and it's unfinished, and I know you guys can't see this because I do that on purpose. But these rafters, they're open. I have open joists. So because they're open joists, I'm able to attach a tripod to the joist and have that hanging upside down, and I have this camera that you're actually looking at right now is the one that I usually use over my workstation. And for some reason, yesterday my cameras both decided not to work, and I had to uninstall and reinstall, and one camera is not being recognized. So I'm down to one camera again, which is the way technology works sometimes.
I think part of your problem has to do with hardware acceleration on your computer, but the other thing is that you may have to install additional hardware like more RAM or a faster hard drive like a solid state drive if you don't have one.
I have all of that. All that's great.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I had this computer built for me for these purposes. So, yeah, all that is fine. It's just working within the confines of Hangouts.
I think to kind of geek out about what you're saying in terms of the two cameras, I think because what I'm thinking is that because they're both the exact same unit, it's the same software, same message that it's being sent, so it doesn't understand that there's actually two separate cameras. And I think the path of least resistance for that would be to get a different version of a Logitech camera, you know, the next level up or the next level down, and then it would go, oh, there's two different cameras. So
yep.
Yeah, I agree
And
with
that did work for a while, but then it also, with another rev of Hangouts and Chrome updates, it actually dismissed one of the cameras completely. And so in the middle of a show, it just actually dismissed it as if it didn't exist. So I've experienced a lot of things over the last 3.5 years that you can experience with cameras.
What about getting a mixer? Because it's my understanding that if you have a mixer for this stuff, like you would plug what's going on into the mixer, which would control it. Because I've run into these issues too with doing recordings, for example, and what I discovered is that I couldn't do it the way that I wanted to do it. I had to have an external mixer where everything would plug into that, it would be run by software, and then plug that into the computer, and then it would work.
Yeah, same concept as
what you're talking
ManyCam.
about is the microphone, I think. Nathan, what you're talking about is the microphone.
Not the camera.
Well, it's for the whole thing, you know. It just depends on what you're trying to do, but I mean.
No, but microphone is different from webcam.
I know, I get that, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about plugging things into a mixer, all the various different components that you want to use within your machine. The mixer is able to handle a lot of things and solve a lot of these problems. That's why I'm mentioning it. If you go on to Blab, for example, and you talk to some of the people in some of the tech shows, Marty McFadden, I believe is his name, and some of the others, they talk about this kind of technology, and it might be useful to you.
Yeah, there's video mixers available. I actually have a paywall question for Heather.
Sure.
You'd mentioned about using.
Could I interrupt for a second, because we have two people here that I need to acknowledge and introduce for the benefit of everybody else.
Sure.
So, Paul, say hi to everyone. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
You scamp. Paul, for Heather's benefit, Paul is one of our regulars that we see most times. So, and Paul, please meet Heather Crafter. And welcome, Craig. Good to see you this morning. I'm guessing that perhaps you and Heather have met before.
Yeah, I think Heather and I have crossed paths once or twice. We don't have a relationship yet, but yeah, nice to see you again, Heather.
Okay, so I felt it was important that we all sort of know each other. So Jay, back to your question about the paywall.
Yeah, thanks. So you mentioned about you use a paywall for within Business Hangouts. My question is, and you said something about being able to access the recording. Is there a setting within the Business Hangouts that allows people to go through a paywall to access a recording of Business Hangout, or is the paywall strictly used for live recordings, at which point they can also access the recording after seeing the live?
Great questions, great questions. So the way that the paywall works is it's literally an entrance of my PayPal address into a box, and that box is on every single event that I've ever done, as well as every one that I'm going to do. So when you set up an event with Business Hangouts, there's a Manage tab, and under the Manage tab is where that email address gets input. Once you put that in, it then automatically becomes a paywall event. Now, anyone who had attended it already for free, they're free. They have access to it and can access it for free. The way to get around that is to remove them from the managed list. So once you've removed them, then when they go back to watch it again, they'll see, oh, now I have to pay for it. So there's lots of options. You can also take that address out after you've done, let's say you've done something and you want to offer it for free for a limited time. You can take that email address out of that box, which will then make it a free event, and you can advertise it as for a limited time it's free, and then you can go back in and put in your email address, and now it's no longer free. But again, anyone who attended it will no longer have to pay. But again, you can go and remove their email address from that list if you want them to pay again. So it's very easy to manage. I actually did put all this into practice because it's one thing to say you can do it, but it's a whole other thing to actually do it. So I put it into practice. I have my drawing lessons are the second and fourth Tuesday or Wednesday of every month, and we've so far done 5 lessons. So as a promotion for the 4th lesson, I said for a limited time you can get lesson 1 for free. And I offered it, I emailed it out, I had 12 people sign up for the free version, and they can go back and rewatch that anytime. I won't revoke those privileges. I'll let them go back and rewatch it over and over again as long as they want. But hopefully that entices them to then want 2 through 18, right? So that's the idea behind it, and hopefully I was then able to go back in and put it back up. So now if you want to watch lesson 1, you'll have to pay. I'm sorry, but that is no longer available for free.
Okay. Does Business Hangout take a cut of the fee of the PayPal fee? Okay,
No,
so just
PayPal charges
takes
their fees, yep.
Yeah.
But Business Hangouts offered this as an option for users, just one more way to utilize their program.
Okay.
And I want to say out of the kindness of their heart, but they just realized that there is an opportunity that they were able to provide this for people, and I don't know how many use it. I use it. I love it.
Well, I know it's in their 3rd tier, I think, the paywall option.
I think you're right.
Yeah. One more question. Your users, the people who are viewing, are they part of the film strip, or they're just strictly people who are watching?
Viewers are always viewing, so they get to watch what is being presented on the main screen. So at the moment, I believe it's flipping back and forth when we're talking. So I'm on the main screen, and I'm sure that the film strip is probably visible to them as well, unless Lowland has changed that. But that's all that they can see. The recording then is the same way.
Got it. Okay, I see. And so in your film strip, for example, you have basically two cameras. You have yours facing you, and then you have your down camera, or it flips back and forth, like you manually flip it back and forth?
Yeah, unfortunately, the way that I've had to do it without using Minicam, if I don't use my Minicam service, then I have to unplug this camera that is pointed this way and
Yes.
plug in the camera that's above my desktop. So that's the way that I've had to do it over the last couple of months since I installed that new camera and stuff. But as of today, for today's show, I'm probably going to have to physically pick this one up and put it over onto the tripod until I can get that fixed.
Right. Right.
But no, I do have an assistant who is also in the film strip with me.
Okay. All right. Very good. Cool.
And she moderates the chat and brings chat up on screen when that works and that sort of thing. So.
Right. So that way you don't have to be managing your business as
you
you're
can have more than one person moderate. So I see that Juan has joined us, and you're new here, Juan. Welcome here.
Hello.
Would you like to say something about who you are and where you are and what you do for the benefit of the others?
Yeah, well, sure. Well, my name is Juan, and as you've said, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you all. Well, I just had some trouble to join. I don't know why, but well, here I am. That's the important thing. I'm from Spain, actually, and well, I don't have a business right now. Let's just say it straight. But I'm trying to do, well, right now what I'm focusing on is on doing something like related to creativity, because I think like nowadays there's a lot of importance on that, and it's not given that importance at schools, at jobs, and at all levels. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I know I don't know anything about that. Well, I mean I know things, but I know I have to learn lots of things. But anyway, I just want to help the people that for the moment I can help. And I don't know, well, that's it. And I just think teaching is really important. It's just part of life, and that's what I wanted to join. And I'm glad to hear what you are all saying.
Okay. Well, nice to have you here. Right, all the way from Spain. What time is it there, Juan?
Well, it's right now 35 past 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not that dark, but I'm in my room, and there's no light here, so I'm sorry to be so dark.
It's all right. We can see your face.
It's fine. It's not.
Right. Right on. So as we were sort of talking about using technology for teaching, and part of the reason that I decided to upgrade my subscription here was so that I could show, so I could play with and show how the slideshow works. So I mean I just took an old PowerPoint and converted it to PDF. In order to use this, you need to convert whatever you're using to a PDF, I understand. So I did that. So I thought I would just show you. We won't go through all the slides or whatever, but I just wanted to show you what we get to see when you use this slideshow piece. So let's see if I can do that without messing it up. So hang on. So there is the this is a part of what I use for my course that I do. So, and there's a button that allows you to advance your slides, and there's another aspect that I'm not sure I really like very much. Let's see if I can show it. It's supposed to show your face on the other side, but I can't figure out how to get.
You have to adjust your seating. That's why you have to adjust how you sit in order for it to work on that.
Yeah. There's a piece that I don't really think is very useful. So, but anyway, I thought you would.
I think you need to move the webcam slightly down, tilt it slightly down.
Yeah.
Even otherwise.
It looks like you're peering in through a window.
I know, it's just bizarre. But I wanted you to see that you can And so what this does is it puts a little small bunch of buttons where you can just advance them. There's a little arrow buttons that allow you to advance the thing. So I wanted to see how this works, and I thought you all might be interested to see how you could make use of it.
Lala, and I have a question about it.
Yeah.
You were saying that it needs to be a PDF for it to work inside Google Hangouts?
No, it needs to be a PDF to work inside a business Hangout.
Oh, sorry, business Hangouts.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, are you able to are you able to screen share? Like, if you were to use your Google Slides, would you not be able to just make do a screen share of the Google slide and then do it that way as an alternative?
Yes.
Okay. So, but to be able to use it, the proprietary Google Business Hangouts feature.
Yeah.
If I can explain the reason why you would choose one over the other, the PDF version is a crisp, clear version. So if you have a lot of words on your document that you're trying to share, the recording will pick up those in the PDF version much better than if you were to do a screen share. And if you were to screen share, you might get I'm trying to think of what it's called.
The echo.
Yeah, it depends on how you're doing it. You don't really get the echo if you do it right. But what I'm getting at, though, is that there's resolution issues with the screen and the recording and so on. So that's why you would choose the PDF version of slideshow over screen share, but that's up to you.
Yeah, because I find that I've been playing around with Google Slides within my own training, and I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's great. It's a real light load in terms of delivering a PowerPoint presentation. They've also added a new thing where, I don't know how new it is, to be honest with you, but a thing where people can ask a question within, like, you can give a Q&A link, and then people can ask that question during the presentation. Which I think is brilliant. I think it's great.
That's very useful if you have a live audience.
Yeah.
Live as in you are in a real auditorium with lots of people around you, and you want them to participate. As in, let's say you go to a big, huge auditorium.
A conference, yeah.
Yeah. And you want all the audience to ask you questions and all that, then it's very useful. Yes.
So how would they do that? Would they use their phone to email a question in? Is that how that would work?
They can go to a website. They would be given a link, web link. Using a browser, they can click that link, go to that browser, and start. In fact, they can. I think the preference is actually for them to use a mobile device, either a tablet, or a phone.
So I wonder if there's a way to, because I just stumbled on that this morning as I went in and looked at something I had in slides, and that all of a sudden there it was. I'm thinking that was a fairly new addition.
Yeah, it is a new one. Yes.
And so I was wondering if there's some way that could be used in an online situation.
Yeah, that's exactly what I always use for my presentations. Any slides I show, that's what I do.
I'm going to give it a try this Friday at my webinar.
Are you going to try it?
Yeah, I'm going to try it this Friday. Yeah. So we'll see if we can break it.
So for those who are not aware, Jay does a weekly training session for wealthy affiliates where he, you quite often have more than 200 people watching that presentation. So Wealthy Affiliates is now using a slightly different platform to present it.
Yeah.
But so we're all playing around with all of these these trying to figure out what is the best way. Just for everyone's benefit. I think I've said this before. Part of the reason I wanted to do business hangouts was I really like having the screen, the unified chat. I like having it right there on the screen, right beside, instead of down below, as it would be if you were using a Google event. And I also like the idea that the comments get recorded along with the video for later viewing and access. And there's some value in being able to do that. So those are two things, plus the business part of being able to having the paywall was something that I could see would be useful down the road. So yeah. So Craig and Paul and everybody else, are there is there anything else that you use when you're doing presentations or training?
I just use Google Hangouts. I don't go through the whole external thing, and I often will just turn on my Camtasia in the background if I want to record it, and then I can either put it up on Vimeo or on YouTube to provide access to the recording.
Oh, somebody just dropped off. So there was that was Nathan who said he needed to drop off. So Jay said, I can put this up, can't I? Is Business Hangouts mobile friendly? And let's see, if I'm you can be a participant, but you cannot host. Okay, so yes, I'm one thing I've been just noticing from the mobile perspective, you can actually create and record a YouTube video now from your phone, which you didn't used to be able to do. So maybe someday we'll be able to host a hangout from our phones. Who knows?
I'm finding that when I shrink it down, it goes down to about Kindle size, and then it gets ugly.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not beautiful. I will say that it's not beautiful. You can do it from, my smartphone is not the biggest, it's pretty small, but you can actually text and watch the video all on the same screen. If it's embedded on a website, it's within an iframe, so then it has multiple scrolling things, so it's not beautiful, but it definitely works. It's just not beautiful, but as the event itself, it works pretty good.
See, Heather, I think you're a lot more technically savvy than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah.
You said
I've learned a lot.
You said iframe and you know.
I've learned a lot. I run my entire website. I do that. I run my entire website. I had to learn code. This is a big deal, people.
Yeah. Well, we are our
a lot
critics,
of things,
right?
but I can't create code. I just copy and paste.
That's about the way I operate my website too, Heather.
What is
I see that little piece of code that seems to have done that, so I'll copy that and put it somewhere else if I wanted to do that.
I see. What I do is I surround myself by experts who teach me. So that's what you do.
Very good. What is the planner icon? There's an icon as a viewer.
That's how you begin. That's how you begin your own business hangouts. The planner is where you create events.
Okay, because there's an icon as a viewer that says planner. And
you're not a viewer. You're not a viewer, you're a participant. So as a
Oh, I
participant,
see.
you are a member of Business Hangouts now because you are a participant. So you have the option, you have a free account, and you can go make your own events and play around and see what you like.
Oh, interesting. So does Business Hangouts have an affiliate program?
They do, and I suggest that Lolan gives out her link about
Okay,
it.
so here's my question: is since I joined Business Hangouts through Laulan, let's say and if I were to click Planner and I started my own business hangout, I paid for the membership, would she then get credit?
Yes, she does. Mm-hmm.
Ah, very good. That's very smart. So in essence, you can really do a Business Hangouts tutorial where people can join, watch, and then they can start their own hangout, and then I would get credit, right?
Once they start using the paid tiers, yes. For the free
Yeah.
versions, obviously aren't going to get paid for that, but yeah,
of
exactly.
course. What's the payout? Do you know?
I do have a code for an affiliate code for Business Hangouts.
Well, pop it in the unified chat there, girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly right. Exactly right. I do not know what the payout is because I don't subscribe to the affiliate program. I'm more of an associate than I am an affiliate. So
Right. I think you're more of a brand ambassador for them because
that's it. That's the way I would put it. Yes, good idea.
Yeah. So I think that's something that you might want to consider to have a little side income there. So
There you go.
You're number 88. Very good.
Good job, Lolan.
So
yeah, if you are going to sign up for any of the tiered programs, then you definitely want to go through that link because that will help Lolan, and that goes back to what you said in the very beginning about helping folks and
supporting each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we're on recording, etc., some time ago on this Hangout, we talked about modeling the right kind of social media behavior. And we talked about it fairly extensively because there are lots of people who go on to Google Plus or any of the others, and they're never entirely sure how it works and what works and how to do it. And I remember explaining how Heather, you came to my Google community and actually did that, so that other people would see how somebody comes in and you were the first one there. Once I created my community, you were the first one there, and you modeled that behavior, which was great for me from a learning perspective, but also for others who come in and join. So I just wanted to publicly acknowledge you right here and now, Heather, for having done that. And you do that a lot on a lot of other platforms. You're part of a number of other communities where you come in and help people and show people how to do things and answer questions. I sometimes wonder if you ever sleep.
I do sleep. Yeah, and today I slept less for you. No, we talked a little bit about, I'm not a techie girl. I really came to this knowing nothing. I was taught by multiple people some really good foundational things, which is, sure, I'll help you. What do you need? And it ends there. I don't expect anything back, and I do that on purpose because that was given to me. So if I can help, I'll do whatever I can to do it, and even if it means not sleeping in today.
I really appreciate that.
The curse of the solopreneur, you get to sleep in, right?
That's right. That's right. Usually, hey, I can do things in my pajamas. I chose to actually put on clothing for you all today.
Good.
On the upper half, anyway.
Yeah, at least.
Well, I see Michael Daniels is out there. I'm trying to invite him, but
he's probably working. So he. He likes to be the fly on the wall and just listen sometimes.
Oh, well,
He is one of those I'm talking about who just gives of himself and expects nothing in return. So exactly one of those that I'm talking about is Michael Daniels. Thank you very much, sir. You taught me well.
and I knew exactly who you were referring to. Well, and then there's Andrew.
And Andrew said to say hello, Lolan. He said
Oh,
to
he
tell
did.
you hello. Yes, he did. And they are fabulous guys who help in the user-to-user community. It's a community that they put together in Google Plus, and it is strictly to help people learn how to use the technology of Google Plus, especially Hangouts and Business Hangouts. So if you have more questions you'd like more in-depth answers to, that's a great place to go.
So somebody's asking, what? I guess that's Jay. What other platforms have people used? Anybody else? Have you used anything else other than Hangouts?
I have used Blab.
I heard Nathan refer to using Blab, but
I have used Blab.
Does Blab have a paywall?
I
No,
don't think so.
no.
No.
But Blab is undergoing massive change these days. So
Yes.
and some people have even questioned whether it's going to continue. So
Right. I know. Lalan posted something about I think Mayana.
Mayana.
There you go. Has a blog post about and an interview about the state of Blab, as to what's happening. So.
Yeah.
And I don't want to gloat, but I remember saying some time ago that it's going to be a short, meaningless relationship, that Blab software. So we'll see what happens.
Well, and the other thing that I've noticed, there are a few. It seems as though a lot of people left Google Hangouts. And they went to all kinds of other things, Blab and Meerkat and Periscope and all of those things. But it looks like a number of people are coming back. And I've noticed lately there's a few people that haven't come into Google Plus, but they're doing it from the YouTube side.
Mm.
And there seems to be quite a few people that are doing that.
Live streaming on YouTube is incredibly popular right now, and it's taking over in a lot of ways. So it's quite nice actually, because it's a cleaner, crisper show. You're gonna with the right software, I should say, you're going to be able to stream a much cleaner, crisper video.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of things that are lacking too, like it's geared towards gaming in the sense that the chat is real light. It's designed to disappear. So say what you want to say because it's not going to hang around forever. And you'll see that. You'll see a lot of that in the live chat where people are saying things that they probably would not say if it was recorded. So that not really a fun business thing, but definitely more of a play tool.
Yeah.
At least that's been what I've seen.
They're trying to capture the Twitch audience.
Exactly. That is their main goal, is to catch up to Twitch.
Oh, would somebody say something about Twitch? I don't know what Twitch is.
Twitch is basically I guess you can call it a social network of gamers that screencast them playing their games, and people can chat about it. So it's kind of similar. The layout is kind of similar to Business Hangouts, whereas you have a chat on one side or at the bottom, and then a screencast of someone gaming something, and you can hear them.
Of course, you can download that and upload it to your YouTube channel, so you can do one time and get multiple versions out of it, multiple use cases out of it. But the other thing is they're starting to look at crafting and bringing in folks in my genre to Twitch. Isn't that funny?
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Really
I see a lot of woodworkers that are actually using Twitch now.
Exactly. And I think they just resurfaced, I was told anyway, that they resurgenced, that's not the word, but anyway, they brought Bob Ross back from the dead to Twitch.
What? Really?
He's not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, virtual Bob. I loved his shows. Yeah.
I don't know anyone who didn't love those happy little trees.
I bet you he probably went to gun ranges so that he can get out his anger. So that's why he remained this calm, serene man, throughout his.
I think it's just
his
painting. I think
broadcast
it's just
days.
painting. Everyone just take up painting, and you won't be as angry. I promise.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Talking about other platforms, a couple platforms that I currently use are Ustream, which is it's a video broadcasting system, and they have what's called API, where you can implement code into other areas and create paywalls and stuff. And another one is Kajabi. Kajabi has been around for about 10 years, I guess. And I've just started to reuse it. I purchased it a while ago and got in as a founders member, and it's great. Now, it doesn't do live broadcast inside, but it does do recorded things. But what you can also do inside the members area is you can kind of create broadcast announcements to say, oh, okay, here we're going to be doing a broadcast here. Anyone with the link can click here and watch this Google Hangout or this or you can announce webinars and stuff. So it easily works well with other video broadcasting sessions. So and it's great. It's included. It's got paywall. It's got it's a quite a robust system. And I've just finished some course content for it, and I'm going to be releasing.
What was that called again, Jay?
It's called Kajabi.
Kajabi, is it with a K?
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. I love things with a K, just so you know. But yeah.
Yes.
Kajabi. Cool. I'm going to look that one up.
We're coming down to the top of the hour. I just wanted to make sure that Anne had a chance to ask Heather any questions that she might have, because she's kind of in the same world as Heather. Any questions? Anne? You're muted.
I am muted.
There you
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I missed a lot of it. I had a client call me, and I had to disappear for a while and answer his questions and do some business and actually make money. So I don't know. I mean, I just sit here listening to this, and I'm like overwhelmed. I'm completely overwhelmed. I'm actually thinking about trying to promote my business, the clothing thing, through Facebook, because that's where most people follow me from. And I just find that if you try and get onto too many social media platforms, you just get overwhelmed with it all. So I think I'm just going to kind of go there, see how I can make things known, and start working from there, because there's just too many things.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm curious if anyone's tried the Facebook live stream.
I haven't. I downloaded a course. Mayanna has just created a course, not very expensive, on using the live stream or the Facebook Live. But I have the sense that you use that from your phone. I don't know whether you can do it from your desktop or not. I will do some experimenting and let you know. So here is.
Sounds like Heather has to depart.
I was just going to say, you guys, I don't want to cut it short, because I love talking with you, but I do have to get to my show, so I am going to say goodbye, and I really appreciate you having me.
Well, it was such fun to have you, and I know that we're very close. But we are at the top of the hour, so perhaps I should close now. And anybody wants to hang around for some further conversation, we can do that.
I have one thing I wanted to say, Heather. Heather, your moose painting behind you, is that for sale?
Oh, you know what? That's a loaded question, because this guy took me so long, and I'm actually making the buffalo version of him today.
Oh,
finishing
really?
it. But
Okay.
yeah, when you see the
Very
process,
intriguing.
you'll know why he's about $3,000 right now. It fluctuates. It
Yeah,
fluctuates depending
okay.
on how I feel.
Is that U.S. or Canadian?
It depends on how I feel. It depends on how I feel.
I figured with it being a moose, kind of a Canadian heritage background, I was hoping maybe it'd be 3
Yeah,
grand.
you get the discount. It's only $3,500 then. That's Canadian.
Oh, so that's
So I just want to share before we close something that Michael has put up. And it's not, oh, there it goes. He says, I actually use Business Hangouts to bring in folks from Facebook, Twitter, and Google. This is so great. Did one Sunday where all platforms were on. Yeah, that was another one of my reasons. I forgot that one. Thank you,
Yeah.
Michael, for reminding me.
The fact that any of those people can sign in using their favorite platform is genius. It's a great way to use it for everybody. Don't exclude anyone.
Right. So I think it's
Well,
time
just
for us to wrap up now. And I just want to remind everyone that you can access lots more for solopreneurs in my Being Your Own CEO community on Google+. And I also have a collection called Supports for Solopreneurs. And please, for viewers out there, do not forget to visit my website, lowland.com, but also to find a way to get to know my participants here in the green room. They come on a weekly basis, and I do appreciate their presence, and I would really like for you to support them. So thank you all, and we'll see you next week. So bye for now, and thanks again.